Hello everyone, it's Melanie here with Vintage Hill Studio. Thank you for dropping by. I have a fun 3D cut and emboss card for you today. This is what it looks like. I will be using some very simple papers here. And then the star of the show, these 3D cut and emboss wings from Sizzix. I can't say enough about this. Tim Holtz, he does everything wonderfully. This is one of his babies here. These 3D wings, you can see how deep the embossed impressions are, and then that silver part is actually the blade for cutting your cardstock. On the back of the packaging are several little rules of thumb for what to use. In this case, I'm using a Sizzix Big Shot with my extended platform. I'm putting in some white glitter inkjet cardstock from Pen Gear. I love this cardstock because the glitter does not flake off. So let me get that run through my machine very quickly here, and what a win-win. You pass this through your embossing machine or your die cutting machine. It does two things in one. So here you have your die cut and your embossed wings, and look, they're beautiful from the back. Wait till you see the front. Wow, 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 wow. I love these wings. That's why I chose a very simple cardstock, but with a little bit of that sheen just to do justice to these wings. Okay, next I'm going to be using a Momenta die set. This is an alphabet die set, and I chose to use the word faith. I thought that would be a great way to highlight these wings. There are several other things you could do with the wings. I mean, I've seen die cuts of people with wings behind them. I mean, I don't know. I was just giving this a first try, and I thought using the word faith might be a good idea to use with these wings. Show you how that turns out here. Get this run through my die cutting machine. Now these Momenta dies are excellent as well. I just passed this through 2 times, and you're going to see the letters just pop right out. No problem. Making your life simple here. All right. Got just a little bit of sheen on my letters so that it stands out from that gray background. Now I'll start putting my card together. So the base is 4 by 5.5, and my mat is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to get that put down with a little liquid adhesive. I like using liquid adhesive because it gives me some wiggle room to move my mat around until I've got it just where I want it positioned. If I used runner tape, it sticks immediately, no adjustments allowed. So what I like to do is eyeball the corners of my card and the corners of my mat, and that generally works pretty well for me as far as centering my mats. Then I bring a brayer over to get that glue evenly dispersed beneath my mat. Okay, some other great tools to have is this grid mat, because I want to align my wings and those letters vertically and horizontally. I really want to get this centered up well. So the mat comes in so handy. You can see I can just visually run my eyes right down that vertical line, and of course the horizontal line as well. And the second tool that's helpful in making this card is the T-ruler. Before I get to that, I want to just get this tape down, and I'm using the oils from my hands with this tape so that when I go to remove it later, it doesn't tear my paper. Yes, I want to make sure I've got my card secured on my grid mat so it doesn't move as I start placing my items on my card. So I'll take my T-ruler here and start with the wings. Now I'm going to be very, very generous with my liquid adhesive here because this is such deep embossing that you've got embossed and debossed impressions on the back of your wings, and you really want them to stick down. So don't be stingy with your liquid adhesive here. These have so much dimension, I didn't feel like there was a need for foam tape for this card. Of course, that was just my preference in using this. I'll set this aside for a minute to dry before I start on my letters. Once that's dry, I'm going to come over and use my T-ruler and my grid mat to center up my letters here. Of course, the eye is pretty easy because there is a center point to your wings, so that helps you place the eye right down the center. And then because the wings do have a little bit of depth and dimension, when I lay my T-ruler over there, you're going to see this is very helpful in helping me align the rest of these letters, because I can slide them right under the T-ruler. That dimension from the wings gives me just enough depth to be able to slide right under there, making sure that my letters are centered. Now you can see this came together so easily. I mean, when you've got the die cut, that's really done, you know, all the work for you by just running it through your die cutting machine. Keep everything else simple. Sometimes there's beauty in simplicity, that is for sure. Okay, I get the last letters put on there, and then I will remove that washi tape, and you can see it's not going to tear my paper, which would be a shame after all this work if your tape tore your paper as you're trying to get finished here. So remember that little tip about using the oils from your hands. There we go, and that finishes my card. I hope you can see that little bit of sheen from the gray paper as well as that glitter paper. I can't emphasize enough about the beauty of that 3D cut and emboss folder. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video today, that you get inspired to give that a try yourself. I like to line my envelopes in the very end. If you're interested in seeing how that's done without any special dies or measurements, go see my other YouTube videos on that. Again, thank you for dropping by today. I would love to have you as a subscriber. If you're watching from your phone, just look for that little red subscribe button down in the description. If you're watching from a laptop, please hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you again next week. Happy crafting, everyone.